Joining us now, and his show, very popular, Dexter. I think I go way back with this cat. I remember when I first moved to New York. The big film, the summer I lived there, was The Warriors. I think Jimmy Remar came out of the blocks back then in that film. This is James Remar. James, how are you?
I'm well. How are you this morning?
Beautiful, baby. Were you in The Warriors? Were you play Ajax?
Yeah, of course. That's me. Good memory.
That film was the hippest film when I first moved to New York. It was going to rewrite the books as far as what as far as being experimental kids film, and
I think it did.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal back then. Made me shaky on the subway for a while, and now you're on at Dexter's. How's your compatriot's health, the Michael Hall kid? Is he good?
Oh, Michael's awesome. He's fantastic.
I think he was under the weather for a while, though, right? Didn't he have the big C? He's good.
Yeah, he was experiencing lymphoma, but he's in remission. He's 100%. The guy hasn't missed a day of work.
Yeah, he's a gamer, huh?
He doesn't even look like he's ever even had a cold.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, man. Some people look for any reason not to show up. My man's going through lymphoma, and he's still gaming it out. So good for him. Now
but 150%. I mean, it's not like he's showing up halfway or.
Yeah.
He's a real athlete. The guy's an incredible specimen.
Yeah, and a great actor, man. The show sings. Tell us how many. It's been a nice place to hang your hat, Jimmy. You've had a long career.
Yeah, it's a great place to hang my hat. I've never been so comfortable, I don't think, with a character that really exists as a figment of someone's imagination.
Right. Why don't you tell the listeners? Break it down for not all of our listeners are obviously aware of the show, so break down the basic concept, which I love, and then your character for us.
The concept, superficially, is that there's this guy who's a serial killer, and he's been trained by his father to go after people that are other serial killers that murder innocent victims like children and women and the helpless, and so Dexter becomes something of I suppose you could say a vigilante, but he's just expressing his impulses for murder, but he's been directed to do it in a way that will benefit society, so to speak. Yeah,
it's Death Wish meets Silence of the Lambs, and I'll tell you what, they hear a lot of pitches in Hollywood. I can see the guy going in that first day and saying, serial killer of serial killers, and you have their attention, right? It's a great hook. It might go different places from there, but that's a great hook up front.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems to be something that speaks to a deeper sentiment than just that.
No, I do too, but I'm saying the hook.
The training of fathers, to sons. Yeah, absolutely. A serial killer of serial killers. That's
you got to get
the one-line pitch. Yeah.
Then you peel it back and show all the different moves. But believe me, you've been in some of those rooms, baby. You're looking across at some Benchley shark eyes across that table. You better hook them quick because they don't.
Yeah, you got to get him with the one-line pitch.
And tell us about your character on the show. And we're talking to James Remar.
I play his adoptive father, Harry, who's an ex-cop, and Harry's got his own beef with society, and he's seen a lot of people get away via loopholes in the law, so to speak. And he loves this kid and trains him to use his powers, so to speak, his powers of murder for good.
Mm-hmm. But it never turns into completely he still is reacting, as you said, to his limbic brain at certain points. That's what keeps the show edgy. There's some altruism, but there's also a lot of pathology in there.
Absolutely. No, he came to Harry basically as a blank slate with an urge to kill, and limbic brain is a very good way of putting it. And I think it expresses what do fathers teach their sons. It doesn't really. We all have the impulse to kill. It's how we're trained. It makes us good or bad, so to speak.
Well, there is that. Yeah, there is that Paleolithic side of you that when somebody gets too near the front of the cave, you want to pick up the blunt thing and whap them over the head. So I do think much of our civilized life is railing against that instinct, probably.
Well, we invite them in and have them sit down by the fire and enjoy some roast mammoth.
Roast mammoth. Then you come around like Capone at the round table and say, baseball is a team.
get him with the old club.
Jimmy, now how many? When did you first start? I'm trying to think. If I go back with you to the Warriors, that had to be right out of the pad. So you're talking about 35 to 40 year career now. Where are you at?
Yeah, it's right about. I've been a member of Screen Actors Guild for 32 years, almost 33 years, and God, I did Grease in 1976. 34 years. So actually, yeah, it's 35 years. I went to a neighborhood playhouse in 1975 and got out of there and did my best to hit the ground running.
Wow, what a fun run, man. When you think about it, it's so eclectic. Sex and the City, 48 Hours, the Cotton Club, this.
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, well, listen, baby, when you read those actuary tables on who's actually employed in these guilds, it's been a great run, man. I think they always they always sense the great chops there that they could fit into a multitude of things. The latest permutation being Dexter.
Dennis, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
We'll talk at you down the road. James Remar.
The Dennis Miller Show on Westwood One.